children are extreme?
Well, no, that women would get more happiness inherently from raising kids than having a job or deciding what they want to do with their lives.
Yeah, because if women derived happiness from children, why do they keep killing them? I thought so too. But I just kept coming back to this point. I'm like, if women wanted children and to be mothers, like, why don't we do it? Like, you can download Hinge and you could filter by age, height, really anything.
Why is that? I'm
honestly, Candace seems insufferable to me. She's high and mighty. If I was her husband, I would be gone, girl.
just curious. Why would having children, which is just a natural biological conclusion, be something that sounds extreme?
I just said inherently.
Inherently.
That's the
extreme.
inherent expectation.
Yeah.
That's better for.
It's inherent because it's biological. So I think when we think about things that are inherent, I think biology is a good thing to start with, right? So biologically speaking, men and women come together, they form families, and that's the reason why you're sitting here. That's the reason that I'm sitting here, is because biology is inherent.
Well,
so
I was
saying it's just natural order that we're speaking about, right?
Okay, let's break it down. So why do you believe that? Why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that?
Why do you inherently are happier? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I skipped it. No career will give women as much joy and fulfillment in raising children. If I was going to dismantle that argument, I would say, why did you not have children at 20? Why did you do it at 30? Because you had way more fun being a celebrity. Look, I'm not... I had to ask, you kind of have to ask yourself this question as a woman. If we want to do it, why didn't we do it? Right?
Stressing this word inherent. So, yeah. I think because it speaks to natural order, and every piece of life, I think, is enriched by children.
You don't think it's natural for women to get to decide what they want to do with their lives?
I do not think that saying women can decide whether or not they want to go to work or have children is problematic. What I'm saying to you is that women will get the most fulfillment from having a family.
Because it's natural.
Then if it's so natural to us, why don't we do it? Because again, it's revealed, stated preferences. My boyfriend taught me this, actually. I want to tell you guys a story where he kind of cooked me. But I'm not going to say it. Maybe we got to build the trust. I've had too many hit pieces on me. Like they'll cut it and be like, why? I love this level of fit. I don't want to be in the... But anyways, again, if it was so natural to women would just want to do it, but we don't. So
it's natural, but also children are wonderful and beautiful and spiritually divine creatures. I mean, they're amazing. There's everything about
what's so amazing about them. Good evening, Pearl. Do you think married women in countries under Islamic moral law are happier than Western women today? Have you seen any studies on this? Greetings from Brazil. I've done spaces from guys from some of these countries, and they tell me it's the same there. Maybe it's a little bit more hidden, but women are always going to do the same thing. They always go for the alphas, find a cleanup guy, and then cheat on him with the alphas. Like, you either become an alpha or you die alone. Like, that's really it. Sorry, guys. Or you take the L. I forgot what I was talking about with this. Okay.
Having a child, it's a lot of work. It's beautiful.
I hear that. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What if there's a little girl born and it's her dream her entire life to be an author or to be, on TV or any of these things, and having children is very expensive. It takes a lot of time. So how is it better for that, and I understand this is hypothetical, but that hypothetical little girl to have children than to pursue these things that would make her happy as she gets older?
But see, that's the difference is men aren't controlling. I kind of understand his point of view. Men are not controlling. Women are controlling. So women want to impose their morality on the world, where men are like, hey, do what you're going to do. Because men know that you can't nag the world into changing, where women are a little more delusional because they've seen it work. Nice seeing Ted Bundy is alive and well. Candace is so insane she gets mad at her tampon lady is cracked.
I just think that what if she publishes the book and she has a child, she would agree with me that the child was more fulfilling and made her happy. That's what I'm happier than the book did, is what I'm saying. And I say this as a published author of a New York Times. I would choose my children over my best-selling book, and I was.
But then you would have did that first. Choices reveal what you really want. You wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? You wouldn't.
That little girl who had a dream that like, oh, it would be really great if I could share my thoughts and ideas in a book. But it is utter insanity for me to reflect on that and say that I would have rather published Blackout than to have my 3 children.
But why is it rather? You see what I'm saying?
It's not rather. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, because Candace is a winner of feminism. She won. Because men and women are arguing on who gets women's youth. Do women get to use it on themselves, or do women get to give it to their husbands? And men are losing because women keep pushing it off. So Candace won because, remember, feminism says don't do the arranged marriage from before. Don't marry the guy from your hometown. You can do better and get better and be hypergamous. And it allows women to be hypergamous. So Candace could have married the guy from her high school, could have married the guy from her college, could have married someone she met in her early career. She chose not to. And she chose to shoot for the moon, and then she married into 180 million. That's called winning, ladies. Take notes. I want to know. Candace, the best video that you could ever do is how to do that. I'll tell you what. That would be your most viewed video.
Your claim. That's your claim, is that it's better.
It will be more fulfilled. Yes.
Right. So rather.
Well, if it's an either or, if you're saying it's an either or, I'm just saying that if these two things have happened in your life, the thing that will bring you more spiritual fulfillment will be children. And so women who are neglecting that, who are neglecting the pathway to, strive toward family because they think their career is going to hug them at night, or they think that when they're on their death.
They always get really, hold on, let me show you guys something. I know I'm stopping it a lot, Doug MPA. I'm sorry. I just got a lot to say today. Candace Owens, Joe Rogan on religion. Here we go.
The thing that's so bizarre to me is that we're sitting here and we're talking about the age, like as if guns were just created, when in reality,
wrong.
right? But something's wrong. But what's wrong? It's not the guns. I'm asking you. What do you think is wrong?
Mental health.
Right.
Yeah.
So I say I agree with you, but I think it's the deterioration of culture altogether. Like they used to be taught the Bible in school. People make fun of that now. Like now we've got this culture where you're making fun of kids. Like religion is like, we're so far away from religion. Like that's like weird to us. Like, like teaching religion is like, you've got like a scarlet letter if you come in as like a holy Christian kid in like a normal public education thing. You've got the family structure where it's like these kids are running the house.
Is it this one? There's one where she says she's not religion. Oh, she says, I don't study religion. Okay.
Houses these days. Like I look on like Facebook and it's like supposed to be funny when like a 4-year-old is acting like Cardi B. I'm like, okay, yes, it's funny because she's 4, but it's also like not funny because she's 4, right? Like,
how do you feel about Lil Tay?
Who's Lil Tay?
You don't know who Lil Tay is?
I love Cardi B. I don't know who Lil Tay is. Who's Lil Tay?
Lil Tay is kind of out of the news now because they found that it's a hustle. She's a 9-year-old Asian girl from Vancouver? Is that where it's from? And she talks mad shit, throws money around, calls everybody bitches. And
where is it? She just, she says she's not religious in this clip.
I used to make us read the Bible around the table. There was stricter gun only by the talks to Jesus. Right. Think about how weird that is, right? Like how weird.
She wanted to publish Frog and Toad. Candace is so out of it. Pearl, for real, Nada, keep breaking down these hoes. The bleep is insane. She thinks she's so smart.
That the stuff that we would be normal, like, praying, talking to Jesus. Like when I grew up, that was like my grandparents' generation. Everyone was religious. And now we're so far away from that, right? That seems like it's okay to mock, and we roundly mock it all the time. So the structure in the home is, in my opinion, the most important thing that needs to change. The fact that so many people are growing up without fathers in the home is something that needs to change. Letting your kid have...
Where is it? Hold on.
Right.
There, that's all you need to know.
Okay.
Is it here?
Like, the reintroduction of God and teaching him into school. And I said, like, at some point, there seems to be the struggle. I have this idea that, like, human beings in a certain way, we're doomed to just keep repeating history. I'm obsessed with Greek mythology. I'm obsessed with like Egyptian history, hieroglyphics, like anything that like where they tell stories, especially Greek mythology, because the lessons are.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the clip. I know it's in this one.
This super smart guy is an evangelical Christian.
is,
So
yeah.
does he believe like Jesus came back to life?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. He's an evangelical Christian.
So he believes that someone died,
Yeah.
and then 3 days later,
Yeah.
they came back to life, and that they walked on water and.
Yeah,
healed
I mean,
the
you have
sick.
to. I haven't really gotten into it with him because I'm not the person that should ever be like debating or talking
Right.
about religion. It's not my like shtick, I guess.
Yeah, okay, there it is. It's not her shtick. And now it's like in her, I find it kind of offensive. Now, I'm really not the most religious, I've said this, but I grew up Catholic, and I'd say if I had to pick, I'd be Catholic, right? I find it a little offensive she's like grifting this now, because I think there's a part of me that's the biggest Catholic grifters ever. It's like, you're using this for your brand. I just don't, come on. Like, why does the religion have to go into the podcast? You know what I mean? I just can't. These influencers, they convert for like 5 minutes. Like, you're talking about all this spiritual stuff. That clip was a few years ago. You know, maybe you get like a decade of being religious under your belt and then come out. But now it's in...
deathbed, their career is going to come up next to them and say, you were so great to me. I think that they've stepped into a delusion, and I'm hopeful that they wake up from it before it's too late.
All right, pause.
Yeah.
Sorry, you've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
I liked him, actually. I thought he was cool. He was calm, made sense. Okay.
Hi.
Naima,
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so currently women make up about 47% of the workforce. If this were the case and that women were just inherently unhappy or unfulfilled working and would just prefer to be at home, why don't they?
Because we've made that due to
The cross belongs on the altar. It's sacramental, not a knickknack for your mantle. It's just so obvious what everyone's doing. You get virtue signal points, so you get to like be a good person. You get to like be a good person by having the knickknacks without having to do the work of being a good person.
prior feminist waves nearly impossible, because now, which I believe that the reason that the government wanted women to enter the workforce is because it gave them an opportunity to tax a house.
There again, the government wanted to enter the workforce. No. Are women responsible for their decisions or not? No. When I started my podcast, I wanted to start it. I'd always wanted to do it. No one put a gun to my head and made me want to do it. I wasn't brainwashed. I just wanted to start a podcast. It wasn't anybody else's choice. It was mine.
Sold twice. And so this goes back to what I was saying, is that there's a lot of financial pressure that is being exerted on young women to enter the workforce. And they do so blindly under this illusion that somehow entering the workforce is going to make you more fulfilled, like getting yourself into 6 figures of debt, going to college to then take on a career and be in debt and having to pay student loans while you make $35K is going to make you happier. And I'm saying that isn't actually true.
Okay, so I hear that.
Yeah.
At the same time, would you not agree that that women can both have a career and have children? I mean, you are actively doing that right now.
And I want to be very clear, because I am actively doing it right now. I would be someone that you would call an exception because I get to work from home. I get to wake up in the morning. I don't have a boss, right? I don't have to go into the office from 9 to 5. I get to then therefore spend the entire morning with my children.
So you're an exception, and the 47% of women that make up our labor force are also an exception?
No, the exact opposite. So I'm trying to make it more realistic, because I think it's really bad form when people who are able to stay at home, right, and are able to start working at, 1:00 p.m. as I do after being around their children, the children are running around all day, will then preach to you that every woman can have this. That's not the reality. The reality is that the overwhelming majority of people are stuck behind a desk all day. And
It is true. I will say YouTube is a great job for, like, you do get to work from home. That's very nice. But if she cared about her family, I don't think she would go into politics. I think she would steer clear. If she cared about her kids, why would you enter like a political arena, publicly showing your kid's face, and touch on topics that people want to assassinate you for? So like having you around. Candace saw too much of History's Mysteries on History Channel and F. Gordon Ramsay and the Money Channel. Okay.
They're not happy. They're not doing work that gratifies them at all. And at the same time, they're suspending.
Well, that's just what career you've chosen. But I think that the issue
most
with
people
your
work a 9 to 5. I think that's
okay. Yes,
reality,
but
right?
if it's the job that is making them unhappy, then maybe they should have chosen a different career path and not the structure of the career itself. But my issue with this,
Okay, if most kids are in public school, I don't really see why women can't have a 9 to 5. You get up at 7. The kids, I think actually I went to school at 7:30. So, okay, you get up at 6, oatmeal, bacon. There's a lot of stuff that's pretty fast. You can just give your kids. Drive them to school. Now, I guess you would have to find them a ride home. But, okay, you get a ride home somehow. Either you alternate with your, okay. Then 5 o'clock, you can make dinner when you get home. 6 or 7 o'clock dinner. I really don't see. So I think women are just kind of lazy, to be honest. I just can't imagine cooking and cleaning takes that much time. I mean, maybe you don't have a spotless house, or you don't make like gourmet meals, but I mean, did anyone die eating oatmeal? Did anyone die eating eggs and bacon? And I come from this perspective because I do understand when the kids are under before they're in school. But my grandma had 13 children. Do you know what I mean? My grandma had 13 kids. So now we're having 2, maybe 3,
is that not only is it claiming that women can't both be mothers and have jobs.
Sorry, Pearl read my mind about the religion grift and over moralizing. I think it's a public persona, a Candace suit.
Which we know to be true because millions of women do that. My mother does that. You are actively doing it right now. But it also is qualifying what every single woman in this country wants without any clear evidence. I mean, there's 169 million women in this country. How can you say that you know exactly what every woman secretly wants? Are you asking them?
That wasn't my claim that I secretly know what every single woman wants. I'm saying that if you measure up at the end of your life, what brought you more fulfillment, your career or children, raising children in your family, we will discover that, and there actually have been studies, people that have gone to people on their deathbeds, and the number one regret that people have.
According to the top 5 regrets of the dying by Bronnie Ware, too much work is the number 2 regret, but not living a life true to yourself is the number 1. I would agree. I don't think women that don't want kids should have them because then they torture the children. We don't need that.
Was that they gave too much to their careers. And this includes men, by the way.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, of course, human relation is going to be valued over money and profit.
So then
but
you
at
don't
the same time, what does that even
with my argument?
I do
at all. You were agreeing with my argument.
Humans prefer humans over a job, but that's not just singular to women. That's everyone. And my question is, what does that even have to, what is the goal of that? Should every woman quit working and just have a child?
Well, I'm just trying to warn you that if you decide to suspend that pursuit of family because you think that you have to first climb the ladder, a lot of women make that mistake and they don't end up finding a partner.
But that's their right. It's free will.
You will definitely have a right to make it.
I agree. People have the right to live in hell. People do.
Get to say what people should and shouldn't do.
I don't think my claim is this is what people should or should not do. I'm just simply stating that my claim is that you will be more fulfilled if you focus on trying to
You don't get to decide what other people are fulfilled by.
Okay, I'm making my claim here that women are infinitely more fulfilled in the household and raising children than they are taking that 9 to 5 job.
But you have no evidence of that. In fact, you are evidence against your own claim.
I'm not evidence against my own claim.
You are.
I'm saying
You're at work right now.
I've literally said, I am telling you, women cannot have it all. That is an illusion, and that is an illusion that is stressing women out. And I think it is
Yes, they can. By having a nanny do it for them. That's how you can have it all, by outsourcing motherhood. Why be a parent when some 5'10" Latina can do it for you? Why? That's how they do it all. Any woman that says you can do it all is paying someone to do it for them.
Reason why so many women are turning to popping pills, why there's been such a significant, more than 1,000% increase since
But men can have it all.
1999.
Men can be fathers and have a job, but women can't do that.
I don't think you can have it all.
It
no.
sounds like you're devaluing women. I think that women can do
No,
everything
it
that a man
sounds like
can
women
do,
is our
and men have done this historically throughout time
It is,
immemorial.
I think women is our debate topic today. So
Women exist in a society with men. We are comparing
women are
and
trying
men.
to be both women and men, and that is why women are unhappy today, is because actually what's quite ironic about the feminist movement is that
I think women are just trying to be people.
I think women have been taught that being a woman is not enough and that you have to also aspire to be a man. And that's the irony. It's like a psychological conditioning. What feminists went out and did and said is that in order for women to have value, women need to be like men. And I'm
Okay,
saying
Candace,
that
so can I-
actually
can I-
women...
Nope, feminism, women are jealous of men, and so they chose to go be like men. Nobody brainwashed, nobody told them, they did it.
and
Propose
men are
hypothetical?
biologically different. There are differences in our behavior. There are differences in our desires. And I think evidence of the feminist movement, by the way, shows us that, because even when women enter into the college education space, the pathways of career that we choose are different from men because we're biologically different, right?
Okay, so let's say that this is true, that women truly are more fulfilled at home. Now, the average cost of raising a child a year is around $21,000 or more. So my issue is, are you saying that women should just suddenly stop working and now the onus is entirely on men? Like, the society that you're pitching is not sustainable economically.
It was,
and I think
it was sustained economically.
but it's not right
All
now.
right, pause.
currently.
Naima, you've been voted out by the majority.
Yeah, that's true, because we're taking men's money and giving it to women for doing nothing. I think more women should work. I'd love to see more house husbands in my lifetime, but not house beta husbands. I'd love to see more house alpha husbands, like women that marry like personal trainers, for example, and just pay for their life. Women aren't bringing anything else to the table. They might as well bring money from all these easy jobs. I'm like, I think the ultimate alpha is a guy that can get women to pay his rent. Because have you seen those guys? Those guys are the best with women. Not in a simpy way, but in a do you know those chads that just get women to do whatever? They're like paying his rent and he's still cheating. Yeah, marry some rich broad and divorce her and take her stuff. Hilarious.